Hello and welcome to episode 165 of the Daily Sales Message Podcast, where, thankfully, my voice has returned to normal and not as croaky as before. In every episode of the Daily Sales Message Podcast, I share a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. In this episode 165, we are talking about isolation. And isolation in particular when it comes to objection handling. Now, when somebody says to you they don't want to buy for whatever reason, they've got a question, there's an objection, we have to handle that in a certain way. And I've got a very, very prescriptive way of doing that. A very simple one page, left to right, few boxes, do this, do that. Very, very practical. One of those stages, which I'm going to share with you now, is about isolation. So when somebody says to you, I'm not sure about the price, I'm not sure about the time scale, I'm not sure about the deliverable, whatever it happens to be, doesn't even matter what it is really. If we can isolate that objection and say, okay, but if price was okay, is everything else fine? If the deliverable was okay, is everything else fine? If we isolate out the thing that they're not sure about, we can make sure they're okay with everything else. Look at my gesticulations today. If you're on YouTube, you've been enjoying this. If you're on the podcast, you've got no idea. But I'm waving my hands around like a madman today, probably because I'm feeling a lot better. So we have to isolate the objection to make sure everything else is okay, and then we can come back to that. So, you're not sure about the price. Okay, if the price wasn't an issue, imagine we sort out for a second, everything else all right, deliverable, timescale, all fine, great. So what you're saying is, if we can sort the price issue out, then perhaps you can buy. Is that fair to say? Great. And that allows you then to just hone in on the price, sort it out, and there we go. Because some people have multiple issues, might start with the price, might then move to the deliverable and something else. So isolating the objection is a great way of understanding what's truly going on, and you know that you can move forward with confidence and focus on what really matters. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation where somebody is objecting, remember to isolate that and see how you get on. Well, that's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message Podcast. Tomorrow in episode 166, yes, I don't know, I have to check. It's there in my notes. There we go. Episode 166. I'm talking about the POD process, the POD process. Very, very interesting stuff. Very interesting. I'll share it with you tomorrow. It's a 3-stage process. POD, POD, the POD process. I'll explain all tomorrow. Now, if you haven't already, hop on over to sellingconfidencescore.com. That's sellingconfidencescore.com. And you can take a 20-question yes-no answer quiz. Takes less than 2 minutes. If it takes more than 2 minutes, you'll be astonished. Takes less than 2 minutes to fill it out. And what it would do is it will score you across 4 main areas of selling, let you know how well you're doing, or perhaps there's room for improvement. And more importantly, it will give you an action plan. It will tell you some specific things completely for free and without obligation that you can do to improve your selling confidence and your selling performance. So head on over to sellingconfidencescore.com, get your selling confidence score, and also get your free action plan too. That's it for this episode. I look forward to welcoming you back tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message.